This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
The real fans can tell who's going to show up, on the screen even before it says the names, because the intros are just slightly different now. So if you're a real fan, you know that instant that the voiceover hits. But it's JJ and Wes, the OG crew tonight on the LowcoSports Lowdown Wednesday night edition. Been an eventful day in the Lowco household, in the Lowco world. Started the day with Under the Bus a day later than usual. We had to bump off of our normal Tuesday spot, so went out to the island this morning and hung out with our friends Curry Kirkpatrick, Rich Basirko, and Bob Stevens, and they had much to say. It was a really good show. We should have it up either later tonight or first thing tomorrow morning. But really good show. They were in rare form as usual. Curry had some great stories about Chris Everett and Martina Navratilova. Rich Basirko also had a Martina story, and just all kinds of fun stuff. There was some stuff that didn't get recorded about Jerry Tarkanian that I think we're going to get into the next episode, that you'll definitely want to hear some of those stories. But good day there. Went to baseball practice tonight, which was kind of weird because, Truman's in London. So, I don't spend that much time with him at practice anyway. There's groups rotating through, and I coach all of them, not just him. So went to practice, gave a kid a ride, so that felt normal. But then driving back home alone was weird. So he's in London right now. He's going to Scotland after that. So kind of a weird time for me being without my boy. But how was your day, buddy?
I had a great day. Yeah, I had another fun time heading over to. It's nice when you only have to drive like 2 minutes down the road to watch some Lowco baseball, and we had a couple of barn burners over there at Crossings Park. We'll get to that a little later, but I'm enjoying this nightly 8U All-Stars tournament. Some great baseball. All these teams have really impressed me so far throughout this tournament. But I'm having a good week so far. Things are going well, and always nice to get out there and catch some ball to cap off the days in the evening.
Yeah.
So,
it's so nice in the evenings right now too. It's good weather for it.
Yeah, for sure. It was beautiful, like low 80s, and it was cloudy. That's really nice weather for baseball, especially this time of year.
Yeah, it's been beautiful. I don't have like any big headlines or anything today. Kind of a slow time right now. But we're picking up with the Dixie All-Stars or Diamond Youth All-Stars. I appreciate them changing it, but it's old habits die hard. There's still the Oakland Raiders at my house. But we do have a good show tonight. We have Ian Leslie from Beaufort Academy. He's in the green room already, ready to talk soccer and tell us about the Eagle Cup 6-on-6 tournament that he's putting together. We also have the fellas from the Hilton Head Sharks coming by. They're getting ready for the upcoming season and looking to reinforce the roster as usual. They're always looking for guys who miss getting out there and strapping on the pads. And I know we have some guys who are definitely this time of year, missing, maybe not missing training camp, but they're missing the idea of getting out and playing football this fall. So maybe we can scare up some former Lowco high school stars to go help them out this season. They definitely need more guys out there. Can't have too many, I don't think. When you got old men playing football, you're bound to have a couple of injuries here and there. You're going to need a little bit of depth. But as far as headlines, there's not a lot going on, but we do have the tournaments going on, as you mentioned. Couple of 8U games. You got out there to again tonight, Hilton Head.
Again tonight. Two fantastic games. I watched most of the Hilton Head game up against Bluffton National. It was tied through 3 innings. Hilton Head let an error get to them. Bluffton was able to get back in the game to tie it at 3, but then Hilton Head got the bat scorching late. They put up like 4 or 5 spot. And one of the later innings to pull away and win this game. But heck of a battle on both sides, showing some great defensive skills as well. A couple of web gems, including a really nice play turn for 30. You really don't see that very often. The third baseman makes a nice throw across the diamond to pick up a big out in that level. So they've got some nice talent out there in the infield, and that's always a big difference when you look at this level of baseball in 8U. But really competitive game. Hilton Head couple of timely hits there. A nice 2-out rally by Bluffton National, but Hilton Head striking right back and taking control late in this game. So a really fun one there. Hilton Head moves on in the winners bracket, and then a nice comeback attempt there by Beaufort American, but they fall short 13-8 and bow out of the tournament. But a nice rally. They're getting this together. Unfortunate for their first out of that last inning. One of their players, and the third base coach kind of pushed him along, or actually he held him back.
Oh no!
And the runner was called out because you can't do
Yep.
that. You to
Can't touch him.
Yeah,
Can't touch him.
The runner wanted to score, but the third base coach wanted him to stay at third, and he held him up, and he runners out. So that ended up being a big first out because they were swinging the bat really well, and that was a key moment because the line was moving, they're making hard contact, and that kind of derailed things a bit. Although they kind of made it interesting. But Bluffton was able to hold them off. They're 13-8, but it got tense very quickly there.
It does. At that age, it gets real tense real quick. And you mentioned a ground ball to third. Oh, every ground ball to third's about a heart attack waiting to happen at that age, man. It's so scary every time. You're like, this could turn into a triple or a home run real easy. It's awesome to watch the kids at that age, and it's awesome when they do it, because they know what to do. It's just that it's hard to do, and when they execute and you get to see that, it's like, man, that's the best. But also had some softball tonight.
But going on to that baseball tournament again tomorrow. Got a really good one in the winners bracket. Beaufort American taking on Hilton Head. Now, Beaufort Americans only had to play one game. They got the bye today, and so Hilton Head's already played twice. So kind of how the bracket works out is that Beaufort American is going to have to play the extra game, I think, going forward because they were off.
Wait, that's Bluffton American, right? Wait, Beaufort American got eliminated tonight, didn't they? Or is that Beaufort National?
I think that was Beaufort National. Beaufort National.
Okay.
Yes. I think I meant to say Beaufort National. Beaufort American was the team that lost. So,
gotcha.
Beaufort National only played once.
Gotcha. So Beaufort American beat Bluffton American last night, right?
Yes.
I got you.
Yes. So, Beaufort National only played once. They face off against Hilton Head. And that's the last two teams in the winners bracket. But
the last two undefeated teams.
Right. It's very confusing.
I saw Beaufort's unis. Beaufort's unis are nice.
The old Astros. The Astros unis.
Yeah, they're nice. They're really nice. We'll have to talk about that when we get Ian Leslie in here because he'll appreciate nice unis. We'll pull up some video you had from last night. Check that out. But the softball got started last night as well. The 8U softball in Beaufort, and Beaufort beat Colleton County 11-9 last night. And then tonight, Bluffton beat Colleton County 17-7. So third leg of the round robin is tomorrow night with Beaufort versus Bluffton. They're both 1-0. They'll play again on Friday. But who wins? It's basically a best 2 out of 3 is what it boils down to. Because whoever wins tomorrow night will be the 1 seed, and then the other will be in the finals with them, but they'll have to beat them twice. So it's more or less 2 out of 3. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun tomorrow night. We also had Legion Ball tonight. Beaufort Ospreys fall 13-0 to Charleston, which is basically James Island's team. They're pretty strong. So Charleston's 4-0, Beaufort 0-4. And golf, Sage Bradshaw made a move today. He shot 4 under 68 in round 2 at the South Carolina Golf Association Junior Championship at the Wood Creek Club up in Elgin. He's 2 shots off the lead now. Luke Block is tied for 6th at 2 over, and Jack Cresor is 3 over, tied for 9th. So they are 5 and 6 shots back. So, 3 guys out of the Lowco in the top 10 at the state junior. That's good to see, and we'll see how they finish it out tomorrow. So I guess that's the headlines. So we will do a little commerce. We got the MVP sponsors of LowcoSports. They keep us going. We got Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports, with Kelly Williams of the Lowcountry. She'd love to find you a place in the Lowco or help you upgrade your place in the Lowco. So if you want to get into the real estate market, call on Megan Jarrett, official realtor of LowcoSports. Homegrown Home Inspections is our official home inspector. Jan Lucas and his team are the best in the biz at making sure you're making a great investment in the real estate market. And if you're building a new home, you got to have the phased inspection from Homegrown. They'll check on it every step of the way and make sure it's built right. Hospice Care of the Lowcountry is the official hospice provider of LowcoSports, the only not-for-profit hospice in southern Beaufort County. And we love them. They provide all kinds of great care, including palliative care to make your life more comfortable, hospice care to extend your life and make the end of life experience good, and then free grief counseling as well, bereavement care for those who are dealing with that loss. So we hope you can support them with your hospital, with your donations. Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, where it's not about dying, it's about living. And Mickelson Law Firm, our official real estate closing attorney, the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, and our original sponsor since 2017. They've been supporting us since the beginning, so call on Mickelson Law Firm for all your legal needs. And now we welcome our first guest tonight, Mr. Ian Leslie from Beaufort Academy Soccer. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
You and I go all the way back.
Way back.
Lowcountry. Beaufort Gazette, Island Packet, when we were still separate entities even. So that's pretty wild to think about. But how you doing, man? You're doing a great job over there with the Beaufort Academy boys soccer program, a role that I'm sure you never really imagined yourself being in. But, then one day you woke up and you were a soccer coach. So I guess, first of all, we'll get to your Eagle Cup tournament, which is kind of the impetus for your appearance. But, tell folks just a little bit about yourself and kind of, I just told people how you got here to come work in the newspaper. But where you've gone since then and kind of how you got to where you are.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Like we said, go way back when both of us had hair, huh? But
right.
I'm from New York originally. Moved down south out of school. I was a journalist out of school. Ultimately got into marketing, and that's my 9 to 5 now is marketing. Work for a furniture company called Industry West based out of Jacksonville, Florida. But at some point, wanted to get involved in coaching, wanted to get more involved in my son's life, and their passion was soccer. And everyone asked me, did I play growing up? And I did a little, but, by the time my boys were probably 10 and 11, they were way more skilled than I ever was. Right. And I just really enjoy the sport. And I enjoy working with high schoolers. I love working with this age group. I say I hold and watch babies at church. I love working with holding the babies at church, and I love working with high schoolers. In the middle, I'm not so much, but I've really taken to it. So this will be my next year will be my 4th year as varsity coach at BA. Did 1 year middle school coach, and it's been great.
Yeah, man. So
your background a bit, because you're coaching the soccer team. What kind of grew your passion for that sport in particular throughout your childhood years, and then now as a coach of this Beaufort Academy team?
I was a baseball player growing up. Actually, you guys are just doing all the baseball rundowns. Like, I played Little League baseball back in New York. I played a little bit of basketball. I played some soccer, but it was soccer up in New York in the 80s when I was playing youth sports. Just wasn't it.
We literally didn't have youth soccer in my town in Kansas when I was growing up. It didn't exist.
Yeah. So still, like, the coaching wasn't great, and the kids, it was just like a lot of kick and chase, and and then but I've always loved the sport. And I think, I was I was 15 when we had the World Cup here in 94, right? It was 94 or 90, 94. We had the World Cup
94.
here. Yeah. So I was 15 years old, and that was a big inflection point for me in soccer, and really kind of having the World Cup in your country. And then I've just always loved the sport. And then I have 3 kids. Right now I have a rising senior, rising junior, and then I have a rising 6th grader. But they got interested in soccer. We did the PALS thing, and we did the Y thing, and the upward thing, and then we saw a poster for what was GPS at the time, which is now defunct. But and that's how we got to know Misa and how we got to know that coaching network, and I just loved watching them. And I've always loved the sport. I've always understood the sport, and I guess like they say, those who can't do coach, or those who can't
Right.
do teach. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I've always I've always had like played sports. My wife's athletic. We both have athletic backgrounds, but wasn't really a soccer guy per se. Just always enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of what I was a baseball guy, but I didn't know what I didn't know. But being able to coach it and like learn just ahead of the kids, like
Sure.
stay just ahead of them and learn from other coaches and observe. I understand the game so much. Like, don't you wish you could go back and play soccer now, to understand
Oh
it as well
yeah,
as you do? Like
exactly. Yeah.
for me with baseball, like, oh man, if I could do it over with the knowledge I have now. But no, I mean, it just at some point you want to help your kid get better, so you have to learn, and then you have to impart it onto them, and then the next thing you know, like there's a bunch of kids standing around you calling you coach.
Yeah, yeah, still, yeah. It's weird. It's
But
weird walking down the street being called coach.
well, Will Howell checked in and said that's my head coach, by the way. He's a
Word.
big
Yeah,
fan.
Howell's the best.
Um,
Best AD in the county right there.
But the reason we brought you on was because you have a vision and you're taking a step. You're starting this Eagle Cup 6-on-6 tournament in February. So tell us more about kind of how that came about and what you're hoping to achieve with that.
Yeah, so I mean, this has literally come about in like the last 2 or 3 weeks, where I don't know if you guys have watched. There's been the TST, the soccer tournament going on ESPN,
Right.
which was up in Cary, North Carolina, second year. We actually, my boys and I, we went up last year for the inaugural year and watched it. But basically, 7v7 tournament, winner take all, $1 million. We're not giving away $1 million at ours, but basically, the small format, the almost like indoor like format of it was really exciting and really fun. And we were just talking about it here at our house, and kind of talking about that, and then also talking about the last 2 years, I've had to actually drop out of Misa's preseason tournament because I just haven't had enough players. Like we've had being a smaller skis of school. Basketball runs right into soccer. You share a lot of athletes. You really don't even have all your soccer players until sometimes literally like the day before the season starts. So I was just trying to think of a way, how can we get some good preseason action going for schools that, don't have all their players until right up until. So by no means do I want to take away from, the Bluff to May River tournament that goes on. I think they're called the Lowcountry Cup there. Coach Willie up in Whale Branch has the Warrior Cup, which he's doing an amazing job with. But those are all pulling in public schools that have larger student athlete bases. So my goal with this with the Eagle Cup, BA being the Eagles, is that we're able to pull in some smaller schools that again maybe only have somewhere between 6 to 10 available players before the season starts, and getting them just some time on the ball. It's going to be 3 group stage matches, 2 20-minute halves, so real quick 40-minute matches there throughout the day. We'll do all the group stage stuff on Saturday, toying around the idea of maybe doing the semifinal under the lights Saturday night, which I think would be fun at the BA field, and then either that or just running the semi and the final on Sunday. But we already have JP2s already signed up. We have Hilton Head Prep signed up. We have the Complete Students signed up. A few others showing interest. So I'm excited. I think it'll be a good opportunity to just get some have the boys get some time on the ball, really just offer another option for preseason soccer, and should be exciting. Should be some good soccer too. I mean, there's a lot of great talent out there across all the schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you make it 6v6.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And talk about the difference of how 6v6 compares to an 11-on-11 game, and the strategy differs when you have fewer guys in the field, and it would lend to a more open style of play.
Yeah, so open style of play, smaller sides, smaller field, smaller goals. We're talking about even doing like we're still tweaking the rules a little bit, but I mean, I think we're gonna have hockey subs. Like it's just gonna be rolling hockey subs. Someone just an official at the center line, just pulling them on and off. Once they come off. And just really requires that your goalie have good foot skills as well, because the goalie has to push up high and just be an additional, almost an additional outfielder out there on the ball. But yeah, just a lot of open play, a lot of good counter play, just fast play, and it really aligns itself real well with like the indoor game, which is all about
Right.
footwork and all about a lot less dump and chase, a lot less kick and chase, and so yeah, I think it's exciting. Like again, just some of the nuances, like no throw-ins, no ball be kick-ins, hockey subs, the faster 220-minute halves. I mean, I think it'll be a fun experience. I think people will like it.
Yeah, I like that. Just kind of
I
thinking
agree.
outside the box for a way to, like you said, get some
Kind of like
reps
the paintball
when
thing
you don't
in
really have
baseball.
enough to go play a full game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Full-sided game.
it kind of reminds me of the banana ball with baseball. It's a much
Yeah,
different
yeah,
style
yeah,
of
yeah.
play, and it's a lot of times like fun to watch because it's a different twist on the normal sport.
yeah,
So I think that'd be a
yeah.
really exciting format.
Short-sighted is fun. Short-sighted is definitely fun. But while we got you, anything else we need to know about on the Beaufort soccer scene? I know Coach Rollins finally hung it up over at Beaufort
Yeah,
High,
yeah.
Really
and
great.
That was
and
good news.
everybody thought he was dead for a minute because that video had wings on him, angel wings on him. Everybody was freaking out on Facebook for a minute, but
Yeah.
but yeah, anything else happening on the Loco soccer scene to fill us in on? We invited Misa to join us, but he was flying to Chicago tonight for
Oh yeah.
something.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've seen there's a lot of good, like we've got some good club ball happening here on this side. With a few of the sides here. And I'm really excited to see what some of the boys, it seems like more and more boys here are wanting to play club ball. And gosh, I'm blanking on the name. What used to be the banner that GPS hung its shingle on right now, but what that club side is here.
Rush, is
No,
that?
not Rush. The other one. Totally blanking. But
I can't
they're
think of them off
associated
the
with Levant, with the
Oh
Goal
yeah,
Soccer
yeah,
Club
yeah,
and all
yeah.
that Goal, and so I mean I think
Yeah.
they're doing a great job. And I think, but yeah, Coach Rollins hanging it up is uh is he's a legend for sure, and I know he was a great mentor for a lot of boys there. But yeah, I mean I think I just like I last time I was with y'all. I mean my big thing is just the amount of talent. I mean we played the complete student last year. They don't have a home field. They came to us. And I mean, you play a team like the Complete Student, you think, oh, it's going to be a pushover and whatever, and they really weren't. I mean, they had a couple of club players on there. There's really club players everywhere. Where you look there, you look at Polaris, you look at
Yeah.
Whale Branch or Better Creek. I mean, there's really club
Royal
players
Live
everywhere.
Oaks, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Royal
I mean, I
Live
think,
Oaks was good too, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think there's
Bridget
Bridges
Prep.
has done a great job. Coach Bruce
Yeah.
has done a great job of Bridges, and I just think soccer is really exploding, and there's no shortage of talent out there, and that's really exciting to see. And yeah.
On the
Yeah.
ski side, particularly, what is the state you think of how these guys teams will fare in the future, not just locally but in the skiza realm in general? What are you
Yeah.
thinking of what you're seeing from the guys side as a coach has been there for a while, watching and coaching skiza soccer?
Yeah, I mean, I think last year was a bit of a down year for Skiza boys here in Beaufort County, as I mentioned on Twitter during the
Yeah.
playoffs, is that we didn't have a single, I think, boys side in the playoffs. I mean, what I considered, I said Lowcountry, but let's just say Beaufort County.
Yeah.
John Paul didn't make the finals. We didn't make the finals. Hilton Head Christian didn't make the finals. So I think it was a bit of a down year. I think, I mean, I'm sure you guys will have talked about this or we'll talk about this, but, I mean, Christian and JP2 are moving up to 4A, I believe. So that'll be tough sledding for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what, I mean, I don't know if you guys really covered this much, but what's going on with Coach over at Hilton Head Prep? I mean, he had those boys play an insane schedule last year, and they only had one win, but I think that may be one of the most talented sides, because some of those scores I saw of who they played and how they took Christian to, I think, PKs. They took John Paul to PKs. They didn't get beat by Bluffton too bad. I think, they had only one win, but I think Hilton Head Prep is a team to watch for a couple of years. I think they're doing great things over there. But yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how these realignments and moving up. So it's always tough, and there's like we ran into a buzzsaw when we went up to Myrtle Beach in the semis.
Mhm.
They were waiting for us after us beating them in the semis the previous year, and they literally, that was just their year, was waiting for us. So I mean, it's a gauntlet for sure. Even though it's smaller schools and not as many schools, there's a lot of talent. It's a gauntlet for lacrosse 2, 3, 4A.
Yeah, man. I did see some news in my inbox, Beaufort Academy related news in the transfer portal. Nick Underwood, pretty talented little football player from Battery Creek, told me that he's going to Beaufort Academy this year. So congratulations, Beaufort Academy. Nick Underwood is a good kid. Good little
Pretty good
football player. I
striker.
think
Pretty good
he
striker
plays a little
as well.
soccer too, right? Yeah, pretty good.
I've seen him play. I've seen him play a few times with my older son. He's a pretty decent striker.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So
I've got no lack of strikers. But if any center backs want to come my way,
hey, no recruiting.
Yeah, no recruiting. But yeah, I mean,
Well, you guys have been. Yeah.
Go ahead.
What were you saying, Wes? All right. Nobody wants to talk.
Yeah, the Eagle Cup, we're going to run February 22nd and 23rd. And you can find out more at theeaglecup.com. And we're actually going to name the trophy that we give away will actually be named after Coach Rohan Nareen.
Oh, yeah.
A long time, Beaufort Academy coaching legend who recently passed, and we'll be naming the trophy after him. And I believe I've talked to his daughter. I believe she's going to want to come down and be part of that. So, yeah, we're excited to see what could happen.
Look at you busting out this website the other night.
Yeah, word.
You're going to come on Monday night, and then you told me, wait, I got to make a website tonight. And that's exactly what you did. I had a link to that website before the end of the day.
Awesome.
Good stuff, man. Well, great to talk with you, Ian. And it's been really cool to for our paths to come together again. Like I said, we met way back in the day. We did play a little pickup hoops together back in the day. Over at Habersham. We had some pretty good games over there.
I think I was in one softball game with you too, and Jeff Kidd bombed a ball at me from third base to first or something. But it broke my hand.
All I remember is I don't remember the softball, but I do remember a dodgeball match at the Island Rec Center against Bluffton today.
Oh, cool. Well,
that was very Anchorman before we even knew about Anchorman. But no, man, it's been cool to reconnect with you and to see you having success coaching BA boys soccer. And we look forward to helping you get the word out and report on the Eagle Cup this February.
Cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Take care, Ian. See you. That's Ian Leslie, Beaufort Academy boys soccer. And my old buddy from back in the day, old journalism buddy. Very cool to reconnect in this world. But let's get to some more sponsors before we get to our next guest. The varsity sponsors of LowcoSports. We have DDS Web Design, building, hosting, and maintaining websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties, and they've jumped on board to help us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco. And Dr. Ambrose Cole is our official chiropractor. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. And Reverence Wrestling Club, our official wrestling sponsor and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. And Wes, we got a couple of Reverence guys and a handful of Sons of Thunder who are on the Team South Carolina team at the 16 and under national duels this week. So I've been kind of trying to keep tabs, and we'll see how they turn out, and we'll report on that when they finish up out in Utah. So pretty cool. But our next topic is football. Are you ready for some football? Because we've got a couple of the guys from the Hilton Head Sharks in the green room. Let's get them in here. It looks like we got Daryl. Ronaldo is supposed to be in there somewhere, but I think we got Ronnie Coolboss sitting there as well, the head coach. What's going on, fellas?
How y'all
How's it
doing?
going?
We're doing good, man. Good to see you guys. And let me see if I can get you on a different layout here so we can see you better. There we go.
There
That's
we
a
go.
little better. That's a little better. But hey, fellas, good to see you. I never know. It seems like y'all have kind of like a rolling perpetual season. I never know exactly when your season begins or ends, but I know that you're getting ready to play some games, and I know you're looking for some players. So kind of just give us an update on what's going on with the Sharks and what we're looking ahead to.
Okay, well, yeah, we're getting ready for the summer/fall stretch of our season. So we kind of try to keep the team going year round. We don't have like a set. We'll play a set amount of games either the fall or the spring. We try to keep things going year round. So we'll play a winter to spring stretch, and then we'll play like a summer to the fall stretch. And we're getting ready for that summer stretch of the season. We start our training camp this weekend, and then we'll start playing games next month. And we'll probably play until, I would say, late October. It's just a lighter schedule. We play most of our games in the spring, and then we play a handful of games in the summer/fall. It's a little too warm, so we gotta kind of
Condense it a
I
little
heard
bit
that.
for the summer.
Yeah.
I heard that. We don't need anybody
good
having
to-
heart attacks out there.
No.
We've been lucky. We haven't
do
had any
need
close
to
calls yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
as much
yeah,
as-
we're excited. We're looking forward to this stretch, and we've definitely been doing a good bit of recruiting. We're still recruiting. Trying to bring some new blood in. Just try to keep things rolling. We're very excited. We got some big games coming up, and we looking forward to bringing some more action. Back to the area. When nobody else is playing.
Heck
Yeah, I mean, everyone's itching for football during the summer this time. I can't wait for high school football to start. But
Yeah.
it's nice to quench your thirst sometimes to have some Hilton Head Shark football action. Tell me more about some of these players on this team, you guys, and just the age ranges, and maybe kind of like an elevator pitch on those who are interested. Why you should join the Sharks?
Okay. All right. Well, our age bracket is pretty it's a pretty wide gap. Our youngest guy, I think he just turned 18.
We have a couple.
And then
we
we've
have
got
a couple.
a couple guys in that 18, 19 range, a couple guys. We actually got a guy in his 50s that plays with us. But I would say most of the guys are in their mid 20s. I would say that's probably where the chunk of the guys are. But we actually we like to we really like to bring young guys into the program. So if you're a guy that's just graduated high school and maybe you're staying locally for college, maybe USCB, TCL, but you still want to continue to play football. We like to be that option for guys. Or maybe you're a guy that's not going to school, but you still want to play football. We want to be option. Or maybe that guy that wants to play in college, but you felt like, hey, I didn't get enough playing time in high school. I need some more film. We're a good option for that level of player too. And we definitely like to bring those young guys in, but we like the veteran guys too, guys that have been around. Maybe they just want to get back in the sport, get back in the activity. We like to be an option for them as well. And we, the guys that we typically bring in, just love playing football. This is a volunteer thing. Nobody's getting played, so we love guys that love the sport. And maybe some guys just want to have fun, but we do have those guys that have higher ambitions, whether to go to college or if they could play professionally. And we like to help those guys as well. That's why we would like to make sure we film all our games, and we'll live stream the games. So we want to give guys as much exposure as possible.
Yeah, man. So who are some of your standouts right now? When I came to the game, Jarvis Singleton from out in Hampton was carrying a lot of the weight on the ground. You had a good little quarterback, Vinny, tough dude, military guy, I believe. Those were kind of the standouts, and then of course Daryl and Ronaldo. But who are the names we need to know when folks go out to the Sharks games?
Okay, well, we still got those guys around. Vinny's been lighting it up. I mean, we had a tryout this past week. But we kind of used it as kind of a pre-practice, and Vinny was lighting it up, man. He made some throws. I'm like, we got to go back and rewatch that, man, because I couldn't believe that he made them. So he was looking really well, man. And we've got some younger skill guys that came in. We got one guy. He's kind of a tweener. We play him at running back. He plays a little bit of slot. So he's going to be a guy to look out for this season. I wish my brother was here because I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Jeremy. We got a guy
quarterback receiver.
Jeremy plays quarterback and receiver. He's a good app. He's like one of those guys that you have to have him on the field. I mean, he can play everything. And we got a young guy, KJ. He plays center for us, and he plays on the D line. He's one of the more explosive big guys that we played. I think KJ went to Ridgeland.
Yep, played at Ridgeland. Had an interception last year in our first game in Jacksonville from the D line.
Nice.
Had an interception.
Nice.
Yeah. He's that kind of athlete. You could play him really everywhere but quarterback, and he's a big guy.
Nice.
That's a good guy to have on your roster in a league or in a
we got a guy named Andrew. He's a captain in our defense. He plays the sharp.
Yeah, he's the nickel. He's the nickel back.
And we missed him a part of last season. And when he came back, you could just tell the difference in our defense. So that's another big guy for us as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, those kinds of guys who can do a number of different things for your team at this level make a huge difference. But tell me more about how the schedule's shaping up and where you guys will be playing. We have some home games around here on the island, or what? How are things shaking as you get ready for the summer-fall portion of your season?
Yes. So we're still playing at Hilton Head High School. That's our home field. So we'll probably play 2 to 3 games there this part of the season. And then we'll travel a little bit as well. We've got a big game coming up in Greensboro, North Carolina. We're excited about. We're playing it at North Carolina A&T University. So we got a big event for that. We're kind of doing like a Tar Heel State versus Palmetto State Bowl against a team out of Charlotte. So we're looking forward to that one. And as far as the home games, like I say, we'll be right there at the Nest. And we're looking forward to that. We got some big teams coming in. So it should be some good action. But we're gonna drop the official schedule within the next couple of weeks to have the dates and times and everything. But we got some exciting things coming down this part of the season.
Right on. And, I'm like I said earlier at the open, I'm sure there's not a lot of guys who are like missing training camp per se when it's 95 degrees outside. But it starts getting hot. Football players start thinking about training camp. They start thinking about football season. So I'm sure there's some guys who those juices are starting to flow. If they start thinking about it and they want to get back out there, what's the best way to get in touch with you guys?
Well, the best way to get in contact with us is through our website. You can, if you go on hhsharks.com, there's a section that says tryout. And if you go in there, it allows you to put in all your information, name, contact, position, and that comes directly to us, and then we'll reach out. Also, social media, we got our Facebook page, we got Instagram, we got Twitter. Facebook, so there's multiple ways to find us. And we have all our information out there as far as our phone number and our handles and things. So you can contact us directly. You'll either get in contact with me or my brother. And sometimes we'll just funnel guys over to Ronnie as well, so he can talk to them. But we're definitely easy to get in touch with. And as far as coming out for the team, we always tell guys, we don't have tryouts per se. We'll allow you to come out to the team, practice with us, work with us, and we'll just see what you got. and we'll kind of put you where we feel like you could best contribute. And then we'll go from there. But we always give everyone an opportunity to play with us.
As long as you're not a jerk, you get to stick around, right?
That's it. As long as you're not detrimental to the team or the community, you have a home come play football.
Yeah, we're big on character. We want high character guys. Justin, you've been out to our games. Yep. You don't see a bunch of like crazy trash talking and things getting out of hand, because we only allow a certain character of guy to be on our football team. We like I said, we're here to give guys opportunities, and we definitely don't want anybody like overshining, the process. We want guys that'll fit in, good guys for the community, good guys that can set the proper example. And if you're that type of guy, and you come in, you work hard, and you give us 100% effort, we will do our best to reward you and make sure that everybody can see what you bring to the table as a player and a person.
Yeah, man, love it. I just love you to it. It's been awesome to see.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to get to is we've talked to a bunch of guys on Hilton Head Sharks and just other guys, playing professionally or at least semi-pro football at a stage like this. So talk about how rewarding it is to continue to play the sport that you love into your adulthood. I mean, it's got to be a cool feeling to be continuing to grow yourself athletically and continue to thrive in these competition settings playing a game you love in football.
Yeah. I mean, we're all about giving guys opportunities. Like I said, it's the reason me and my brother started this team is because we felt like even high school, we played in college, but we felt like we didn't quite get the opportunity that we wanted. So it was like, okay, well, if we felt like it wasn't provided for us, we'll create it, and we kind of want to give that to guys. This is your chance to continue to play the game that you love to play. We're going to provide that opportunity for you. And when some guys have really taken advantage of it, really like ran with it. Justin, we talk about Chad all the time. He's our star guy. He took it as high as he wanted to go, and he was our day one guy. You can ask him. First day it was literally me, him, and my brother on a little grass field. And I don't know how many 12 years later, we're still going. So we definitely want to be that outlet for any guy. Size doesn't matter. Your athletic ability doesn't matter. Like I said, you just got to have a love and a passion for the game and give us that effort, man, and you can fit right in with our culture.
Just got to be willing to go hard and not afraid to get hit, right?
That's it.
Pretty much. You gotta be a little bit psycho, maybe. It's okay to get a little crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of a prerequisite, right? But
good place
Ronnie,
for those people to come.
Ronnie, just get it out. Like that's the thing about MMA. Like I'm not a huge MMA fan, but like, hey man, if that's what it takes for some people to just keep their head straight, then good, get in there and beat each other up. It's all good. But Ronnie, I know you've been around the area for a while. I know you coached at Hilton Head Prep for a little bit, and I don't know where else you've kicked around, but just let us know a little bit more about your background and how you came to be the head coach of the Sharks.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's been a journey. This is coming up on the end of my 10th year coaching. I'm actually from Pennsylvania, so I started coaching, and I've coached in Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey, 8-man and 11-man semi-pro back home. And I coached a year and a half at college, Lackawanna College, back in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And I started out coaching 6-year-olds, where I graduated, where I grew up playing football in a town called Lehman. And then moved down here in 2019, got hooked up with these guys like a month after moving down. And then we have such a good connection. Like we finish each other's sentences, you know what I mean? So just at the start of that back in 2019, it was like, yeah, these are the guys that I want to work with. And then they've given me a great opportunity to grow within the program. I started as a DC. Well, I guess I originally just came as a defensive coach and then, worked my way up to being the DC. And like you said, I was coaching. I started 2020 at Prep, left there after the 2022 season. And actually just last season linked back up with Coach Adams coaching at Christian Academy with the middle school. So that's coaching at Hilton Head Christian Middle School. And as everybody knows, we won the varsity, got the state championship this last year. Yep. So we're just looking to keep feeding guys into that program and go back after it again. And, you know, it's been a good time down here. I've had really good experiences since I've been down here.
Have you been entrenched with some of the high school scene going on here and you know what's happening in the fall and what you're seeing from guys, you know, getting a great career out of the high school experience, then moving on to the college game? I mean, it's got to be cool for you to be around an area which is really starting to thrive in terms of the high school scene as well.
Yeah,
in terms of what you guys are doing.
It's really getting to be a very good learning experience, you know, because like you said, I've been around all those levels, but getting to see it now, guys moving up from the high school, well, from the middle school level to the high school level, and now potentially moving up to the college level. It's a learning experience, and especially with, you know, the way everything's changed now with the college aspect and the college landscape, that affects the recruiting process too. You know, I mean, there's a lot more details that kids need to be prone to now. You know what I mean? And they need to understand that it's a little tougher to get recruited straight from high school now to the bigger schools because of the way, you know, it's shaken out and the money's shaken out. So just trying to keep kids encouraged, you know, like just because you didn't get here doesn't mean you can't get there, which means you could get there in the long run, you know, and just seeing how these, you know, the last season graduates and now these next 2 years of the graduates, it's really interesting getting to see guys, you know, because we're a small school at Christian Academy, but just getting to see the spotlight, getting shine on those guys. Because we, you know, I've been saying since last year, we're the hardest working team in the area. You know, we may not be the most popular or the biggest, but we, you know, we're trying our best to get these kids noticed and get these kids to get their, you know, their dreams come true. And it's really cool to see it happen.
Yeah, I've said it many times, but it's always a good day when somebody from the Lowcountry signs that letter of intent. You know, it's a beautiful thing. So, well, hey guys, thanks a lot for hopping on with us tonight. Keep us posted on that schedule, and let's try to you know, make this a regular thing.
Definitely.
You know, we were talking about a coach's show. Let's get that going this season.
I'm all for that. I am all for that.
Yeah,
let's get together. Let's make it happen.
We'll do that. Thank you. All right, y'all. Have a good night.
All right, good night.
Be good. That's Daryl Mitchell and Ronnie Coolbaugh from the Hilton Head Sharks. Always good to talk with those guys. I just love their passion. I love, you know, Daryl and Ronaldo started that thing years ago, and I'm sure 1,000 people probably told them they were idiots. It'll never work, and they're still doing it. So, you know, they're still laughing. So I love that about that. But let's shift gears a little bit. We're going to read some more sponsors, and then Carlo Peruzza has popped in. He wants to share and tell with us. So we'll talk with him here in a minute. Our final round of sponsors, we got the Lowco Booster Club. They support us, so please support them. Court Lifestyle Pros. They are Daniel and Debbie Court. They're with Charter One Realty, and they want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Revive Rehab, Women's Health and Pelvic Floor Physical Therapy. You'll find Dr. Allie and Dr. Jen there. They'd love to work with new moms to get them feeling right and back on their feet again. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel, and they made us some sweet new hats. Web store coming soon. You're definitely going to want to get one of these new Lowco hats from Eagle Creations. Check out their store over on Argent Boulevard. They got a storefront where you can check out all the stuff they can do for you. Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Go in for the conversation. Come out looking stylish at Jay's Barbershop. And Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry. Chris Odom and his team will get your floors so clean, your feet will thank you. That's the Lowco Booster Club. And now it's time to share and tell. And we welcome the Fight Doctor, Carlo Peruzza. What's up, buddy?
What up, gentlemen? How are you guys doing on this lovely Wednesday night?
Doing well. I wanted to bring you in tonight because I wanted to give you a chance to promote your latest production, which was another dream come true for you. Every time we have you on, you're talking about Lacey Evans, aka Macy Estrella. But you sat down with her over at Sunny Summers Cafe in Beaufort and did a little interview. Tell us about the experience.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, obviously from interviewing her in the past and working with her, she's awesome. Macy Estrella is really cool. Wonderful person. I mean, her story is just really amazing. Like, obviously, a lot of people know her from her time in the WWE as Lacey Evans, where she was a great character. She was a heel, so she was like the bad guy, if you will. But I mean, she did such a good job at it, and her attitude like really suits it for that. But what a lot of people don't really know is, her story. Like, she came from a very tough upbringing. I knew it was just rough time in the house for her. I think she's had her share of addiction issues. Obviously went to the Marines. Told me that was a way for her to get out from all the craziness, and she kind of had to escape her upbringing by going to the Marines. And with that, she was fortunate to start dabbling into professional wrestling. Started doing some shows over in the Statesboro area just on the weekends, and what she referred to as like backyard wrestling, little small indie promotions. And one night, Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, just happened to be in attendance and spotted her. And next thing she knows, she's getting flown out to Orlando to the Performance Center, WWE Performance Center, and gets a tryout and gets signed NXT and becomes a very successful WWE wrestler. So it was really cool talking with her. Her coffee shop's on East Summers Cafe over in Beaufort. If you guys ever are near that area, definitely check it out. Really cool spot. But what's awesome about it, she does so many outreach programs in the coffee shop. I think they do AA meetings there. There's different counseling programs there. She supplies free coffee and free donuts for those festivities. And she's also got something called cell phone jail. So if couples or anyone want to go to the coffee shop to escape technology, their cell phones go into cell phone jail and they get free donuts to play board games, or they have cornhole set outside. So she's really doing some wonderful things. I mean, it's really amazing to see someone who's had all of that success. Very smart with her earnings. Now, her and her husband, she was talking about, they have different business ventures and rental properties, investing. Like, she did a wonderful job with that, and now she kind of just wants to give back to the community. I mean, when Lacey Evans, the character, they build her from Paris Island, South Carolina. So that this area has always stayed true to her, and she hasn't forgot about these people, which is really amazing. I mean, it's just cool to have a former professional wrestler just living in Beaufort County.
Well, I mean, we got BJ Payne over there coaching football too.
Yeah, but also I think one of the coolest things we talked about, and this is something I'm always, this is from the pro wrestling side of me, like the fanboy side of me, always want to get into. So a lot of people don't realize she was going to win the women's world title. And a lot of people probably remember her big thing. She was in a storyline with Ric Flair and Charlotte Flair. So she was beefing against Charlotte Flair, and basically the storyline was like she was rolling with Rick, like Rick was her man or something. And months before that, she approached Vince about having their child, Sonny, their second daughter, Sonny. And at the time, I don't think she was really used heavily. And he was like, Vince, do I have the green light to do this? I'll be back 6 weeks after birth, whatever. And he was like, yeah, sure. Gave him his blessing to do it. So out of nowhere, she gets pushed to do this storyline with Ric Flair. And her and Charlotte were set to fight at a pay-per-view, and she was going to go over. She was going to become the champ. A week before it happened, she got pregnant and had to delay the whole thing. And it was amazing her talking about, I was like, so many people were like, you just effed up your whole career. You could have won. It was your moment, whatever, your biggest match of your life. And the way that she's like, I wouldn't change anything for anything. It is what it is. And I'm glad it happened this way. And now she's only, I think, 33 years old. I mean, she's still in the prime of her wrestling career. She did 7 years at WWE, and now she wants to be around her kids. She wants to have them have that childhood that she didn't have, which I think is truly unbelievable. I don't think she's opposed to the wrestling comeback. I definitely think we're going to see her at some point back. Maybe not WWE, but AEW is also another big promotion. And she told me she is not saying no to that. She enjoyed her time professional wrestling.
I mean, she's still super fit. She's still loves the spotlight, loves the camera. She still has that that outward personality. Like
Yeah, you gotta have.
it's still in her. It's still in her.
Yeah, you have to have that charisma to be a successful wrestler. There's more to it than just the talent out there. You have to have the swagger, and that goes for many levels, from the very top WWE all the way down to the minor league. You got to have confidence in you, and you have to have extra swagger. That you got to be a character out there. I mean, I'm sure you can agree with that philosophy of how these guys advance, in their careers. I mean, what is there more to it than just your raw ability? I mean, it takes the whole package for yourself.
See, what a lot of people don't realize when it comes to wrestling, sure, it's your character, but it's more so how do you feed out the audience? How do you interact with the audience? How do you put them on that roller coaster? And that's something that, she takes the business very seriously. And that is something that she portrayed, like when she was in character, when she would roll up to arenas and stuff, there's fans that wait outside to try to get autographs and stuff like that. So she was a full-blown heel. So if someone would ask Lacey Evans back then to sign an autograph, she would flip them off, maybe swear at them, because she wanted to give them that experience, like what's the point if you're watching her on television? She's this bad person, but you're meeting her 2 hours before the show and she's as nice as can be.
Right.
I mean, something's off there.
Well, that's part of the thing. Like we all know it's scripted and everything, but like the wink and the nod is that you have to pretend like it's not. Like that's the deal. We all know you're playing a character, but you have to make us believe you're not. And so, like Undertaker, for years, like if he went out in public, he was the Undertaker, right?
He was the dead man. Like you see him at an airport, he wasn't doing appearances. Now, I mean, it's lost that term is called kayfabe, and they don't do that nearly as much anymore. I mean, if you watch now, like it's funny. I've seen it at shows where you have two guys who are in a bad feud. They hate each other, but they're driving into each other. They're traveling together. They're going in the same car at the arena. And it's like, okay, this is your main event coming in together, all buddy. So it's that's something that's kind of lost its stick a little bit, but there are definitely some.
Well, the curtain's just kind of been pulled back a little bit too. It's like we have cameras they probably always rode in together, but there weren't cameras everywhere to capture.
That's true.
Like that kind of thing. But hey, Carlo, check out these unis that the Beaufort All-Stars have.
Oh, those are flash.
See these? Aren't those nice?
Yeah, that's a throwback.
Nice.
Yeah, they do.
That's a good look.
Those are like Jeff
Bagwell. Do you have anything to share and tell, Wes, with Carlo and me? If not, I have a good one.
Yeah, I just want to get Carlo into this. I'll tell you what, it's been a very similar season to the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. I mean, they just haven't been able to string any consistency together. And it's kind of been that.
I think the Blue Jays should definitely trade Vlad to the Cubs for like a mid-level prospect.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't been watching too much this year. I'll be honest. I've kind of been. Honestly, guys, since they changed the clock rules and these games are getting done way earlier, I don't know. I haven't been watching as much because usually I'd come up.
It's a lot easier to like just miss the game. Because used to, like you could come in an hour and a half, 2 hours into the game, and it'd be the
they play 160. They play 162 of them. I mean, it's just
but now you sometimes it's like, oh shoot, are the Cubs on? Oh, they already lost 3-0. Like
I know.
It's over.
So many day games too. They play so many day games in the majors.
Yeah,
like you just never know when they're playing. And I mean, it's been like that's something that's happened.
It's a lot of baseball,
Major League Baseball, but it's never been as accommodating, I guess, compared to other sports.
Well,
but,
here was an exciting thing from a baseball game. You want to see this?
Yeah, let's see it.
You guys see this? This is not what you do if you don't go on the field at a baseball game and do this.
I heard about this the other night. Wow.
Oh, taser.
Oh, my. Oh, they got him. Ooh.
I'm not sure that the taser shot was necessary. I think we could have tackled him, but look at that backflip though.
Yeah, that's put him on the Olympic gymnastics team.
I mean, here's the deal. Like It was probably a bit much, but
Yeah.
at the same time, Monica Seles got stabbed.
Oh, look at
and
those shots. Oh
Tom,
my.
I know. Look at that. Oh,
I just don't
Whoa,
think it is a
the
good
kill shot
idea,
right there.
drunk or
Yeah.
not, to attempt to do something like
But what
that.
are
you
the
should
motives
definitely
for
not
something
do
like
that.
that to rush the field? I mean, we've seen it in the NFL, Major League Baseball, and especially professional soccer. There's been a lot of that in just international soccer where you see people rush the field. Sometimes they're trying to reveal messages or some other thing, but I don't know. You're gonna make a fool of yourself. I mean, there's nothing really to gain from. But I guess some people were crazy. They will push that aside.
Some
They
people
want their
definitely
moments.
are crazy. No
I think we're
doubt
about to
about
get into
that.
some craziness here in a second, Justin.
Yeah, so Carlo made me watch a press conference the other day for an MMA fight.
Yeah.
Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz, and it got crazy at the end.
Yeah.
So
So following the press conference after the stare down, things got a little heated between Team Masvidal and Team Diaz.
Oh,
And as you can see here, that in the red is Jorge Capetillo, Jorge Masvidal's coach. They started throwing at Jorge, and then Jorge came in to rescue his coach, and all heck broke loose. I mean, the song 0 to
my
100
God.
by Drake, I mean, it lives up here.
There's Masvidal. There's Masvidal.
There's Masvidal and his friend Chris in the background. This is his manager, Victoria.
These are the people Carlo goes and hangs out with. It's hilarious to me.
Anthony Pettis, Fernando Vargas right there, Jorge Capetillo. I mean, craziness. Probably they're going to probably sell a lot of pay-per-views now. I mean, I think everyone in the MMA community wants to watch this. Obviously,
and it's only like $20, right? Like, isn't
I think
it really
it's 25
reasonable?
to watch it in attendance. I'm not sure what the pay-per-view costs. I'm not sure what that is, but so those two have a history. They fought once for the BMF title in UFC, and Jorge won because of a doctor stoppage. So now they're doing the whole boxing thing. They're going to do a 10-round boxing match, and this is about the 6th press conference they've done. And Nate Diaz in the last one before this one was saying how he was done. He's done doing the media. Nate's the type of dude, he shows up to fight. He hates doing the press stuff. Yeah, he'll do it, but he shows up to fight. It's just who he is. And at the one before this one in Anaheim that just happened, he told, I think it was in Los Angeles, he just left and was like, square off with yourself, and threw some swear words at Jorge. And he tried to do the same thing here. And then he said, I'll fight you right now with that. Jorge came up. It was calm. It was civil. Nate actually left, and his team were still getting rowdy with Jorge. It was Jorge's coach, Jorge Capetillo, Anthony Pettis, and Jorge's friend Chris versus about 20 of Nate Diaz's entourage. And I mean, a complete melee broke out. I was actually one of my friends, Devin Cushing, who's fighting on that same card on the undercard. He was there, like he was in the front row as this was happening. And he's like, when they started talking, I'm like, oh, this is about to happen right now. And, Devin was saying it shouldn't have happened. I mean, this is not what you want. I mean, someone could have got hurt. Someone could have got pulled from the card. I mean, this is not, I really truthfully do not think this was staged or set up. Like, I think this just got too rowdy and all heck broke loose. And then there's videos even, they get them inside in the building. Yeah. And it almost happens in the hallway in all these security.
Yeah, they just like saw each other crossing paths, and it was like, there they are.
I think they need to hire as many security people that they have in California for this one.
Well, you know what? You know who will probably be working security for it out in Anaheim? Probably our boy D Smalls.
Oh, really?
On a few weeks back. I don't know. He works all kinds of security at events at like Staples.
Well, I probably need him.
So he really might be.
There's a lot of
so I have a good parting thought. Big news from just the other day in the world of competitive eating. The great Joey Chestnut will not compete in the Nathan's hot dog eating contest on the 4th of July because he chose to represent another hot dog brand instead of Nathan's, and so he will not be competing.
Shunned
in the contest where he has won seemingly every single year. We will have a new
ever since Kobayashi hung up his.
And now it was revealed today that we will have a battle royale between Joey Chestnut and Takaro Kobayashi, one of the other great chiefs of this contest, on Labor Day weekend. It will be hosted live on Netflix on September 2nd. It will be Joey Chestnut against Takaro Kobayashi in a hot dog eating contest. I guess will be crowned colloquially the greatest of all time.
The greatest hot dog eater of all time.
Not in this time. Although Kobayashi's not in this time, so Chestnut should take it easily. I don't think it probably won't be close.
Kobayashi's been retired for a while, hasn't he?
Yes. So it's not a fair fight. Chestnut will smoke him, but still, it'll be fun to see.
You know, I guess I respect it. Any man who can eat that many hot dogs, but the dipping it in water grosses me out real bad. Yeah. Soggy hot dog bun.
Apparently that's for digestion or something, but that does not.
Well, yeah, because it's just it goes down easier if it's wet, and it also a bun sort of like bread kind of like shrinks as it gets wet, so like it probably just helps you take it down. Yeah. But man, soggy hot dog bun, gross. And that's just too many hot dogs. But for more hot dog talk, Under the Bus is the place to be this week. They definitely discussed this topic, and Rich Basirico pledged his oath to Nathan's hot dogs. So check that out this week. Anything to part on, Carlo? You good?
I think I'm good.
What are you getting into this weekend?
This weekend I'm actually going to Charleston. Buff Bagwell, former WWE wrestler, part of the NWO and WCW. He's going to be out in Charleston doing a little autograph signing. So I'm going to go out there and see if I can maybe get a quick little interview with him, talk to Buff the Stuff Bagwell. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of wrestling lately. I mean, it's kind of weird with MMA stuff, but I mean, it's close enough, so I'll take it. But I've been never thought I'd be able to do this much wrestling. Conflict MMA is doing a show in a couple of weeks in Charleston. That should be pretty cool. A couple Icebox guys. Mitchell Pollard's finally the co-main event. That could be a cool thing to watch. Those are usually fun ones. Also big MMA, not really MMA, kind of more boxing news, if you will. Mike Tyson, I guess, is no longer fighting Jake Paul. I think he has heart palpitations or something. Actually, I'm not sure exactly that, but it's something.
I never believed that was going to happen.
The rumor is, I don't know if it's official, but Jake Paul is now going to box Mike Perry, which is the king of violence, big deal in BKFC. Not a good decision for Jake Paul. Not a good decision for
Mistakes were made.
Smart, because one of my really good friends, Alex Nicholson, his best friend is this Mike Perry dude. And Mike is going to have a field day with Jake Paul. Let's put it this way.
Good. I'm happy to hear that.
If you guys want to see Jake Paul get knocked out or get hurt?
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah, that's totally what I'm rooting for. No question about it. All right, cool. Well, we will be back on Saturday night. We're going to punt Friday night to Saturday night because Carlo and I are going to go out on the town. We're going to End Market to check out the Burt Kreischer's Fully Loaded Comedy Tour.
Jelly Roll's going to be there
Friday. Jelly Roll was a late addition to the ticket. So we're going to go check that out, have a little boys' night, and we'll get back in here. Saturday night, we'll have Wes and Max, and we'll see who else we can round up. I think we may get Coach Kyle Bennett, new guy over for May River Boys Basketball, to come join us. But thanks to everyone who hopped on tonight, including our guests. We had Ian Leslie from Beaufort Academy Boys Soccer, Ronnie Coolbaugh and Daryl Mitchell from the Hilton Head Sharks, and the fight doctor, Carlo Peruzza, popping in late. Great show tonight, boys. Always enjoy it. Thanks to all of our sponsors and to all of you for showing up to listen or watch. We'll be back on Saturday night. So for Carlo Peruzza and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Lowco.
The LowcoSports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.